It's 1962, San Francisco. The city is the center of the world. Everyone is talking about the future. They are talking about peace, love, and the technological progress that's going to fix everything. The summer of love is right around the corner. The world is convinced it's finally waking up. But in a tiny rented room on Asbury Street, a man named Eugene Rose is sitting in the dark. He isn't buying it. Eugene wasn't an old man yelling at clouds. He was young, brilliant, a master of languages, and a former academic who had tasted everything the modern world had to offer. He had looked into the heart of Nietzsche. He had mastered Zen Buddhism, and he had lived the life of a San Francisco intellectual. And he found it all to be a graveyard. While the rest of the city was celebrating, Eugene was performing an autopsy on the modern soul. He realized that the supposed progress everyone was cheering for wasn't actually a step forward. It was a lock turning in a door. He saw that we weren't building a better world, but we were building a golden cage. He called it the kingdom of man. Today we look at our screens, our sterile cities, and we feel like ghosts. We feel like we are living in a simulation. We think this started with the internet or the smartphone, but we're wrong. Eugene Rose saw the bars of the cage being welded together 60 years ago. He wrote a letter in 1962 that predicts exactly why you feel empty today. He saw the simulation before technology existed to build it. And don't get me wrong, we're not talking about a Matrix-like simulation. We are talking about the corrupted modern world and how it's built, its everlasting hate towards Christ and the cross. Here is the warning we ignored. Why do you feel like a ghost? Why does every modern convenience feel like it's stealing a piece of your humanity? Father Seraphim had the answer. He understood the concept he called nihilism. Most of us think nihilism is just some edgy teenager saying nothing matters. But it's more dangerous than that. To Father Seraphim, nihilism was a process, a slow, methodical removal of God from human life. Once you remove the vertical, the connection to the divine, the horizontal becomes a prison. The modern world was shifting its focus. We stopped caring about what is true, and we started only caring about what is comfortable and how we can only protect ourselves. Think about your daily life. Everything is designed to remove friction. You get your food delivered so you don't have to talk to a neighbor. You get your entertainment through a screen so you don't have to deal with the messiness of real people. You have air conditioning, safe spaces, and endless distractions. Father Seraphim knew a secret, though, that the modern world tries to hide. Man is made for friction. Without struggle, without truth, and without a connection to something higher than your own comfort, God, you don't become free. You become a subhuman. You become a creature that just reacts to dopamine hits. You become a well-fed animal in a sterile zoo. In 1962, Eugene Rose saw that the world was being organized into a humanitarian machine, a system that promises to take care of your physical needs while it quietly strangles your soul. He knew that a world without God wouldn't be a world of freedom. It would be a world of total absolute control disguised as convenience. On February 18, 1962, Eugene Rose sat down to write a letter to Thomas Merton. Merton was a famous Catholic monk, a man who was trying to make Christianity relevant to the modern world. Eugene saw right through it. He saw that trying to make the church relevant to a sick world was like trying to make medicine taste like the poison that's killing you. Here is the core of what he wrote. Listen closely. because he is describing your life in 2026. The profoundest enemy of the church today is not its obvious enemies war, hatred, atheism, materialism, but the apostasy that has led to this obvious and extreme worldliness. The building of a world that will thrive in unity and peace. Wait, why would unity and peace be the enemy? Because Father Seraphim saw that this peace was a fake, a fraud. It was a peace brought at the price of the truth. It was a peace that required you to stop asking deep questions and start being a good citizen of the machine. He continues, this peace is a mask for a war against the soul. We are living in a time when the world is being organized into a great humanitarian machine. It is a world where men are taught to be happy, to be comfortable, and to be adjusted. But this adjustment is a spiritual death. Adjusted to death. That is the most important phrase you will hear today. The simulation wants you to be adjusted. It wants you to be normal. It wants you to fit perfectly into the cubicle, the algorithm, and the social credit system. The world tells you that if you're anxious, if you're lonely, if you're miserable, there is nothing wrong with you. You don't need God and you don't need external help from Christ. You need a pill. You need a new app. You need a different mindset. But the truth is the opposite. Your misery is the only thing that's still real about you, because it's being adjusted to a world that isn't human and has abandoned God. He finishes this section of the letter with a chilling description of our current reality. The world today is a desert. It is a wasteland of the soul. We are surrounded by people who are dead while they're still living. They have been fed on a diet of lies and distractions until they no longer know what it means to be a human being created in the image of God. People who are dead while they're still living. Does that sound familiar? Look at the people at the grocery store, at the plaza, on the train, at work. Look in the mirror. We're living in the kingdom of man, a world that has everything except a reason to exist. Later in his life, Father Seraphim expanded on this idea and he started calling it the plastic world. He said that the modern man is like a hothouse plant. He lives in a temperature controlled artificial environment. We don't know where our food comes from, we don't know our neighbors, and we don't know how to handle real suffering. Because we have removed all the hard edges of life and we have no spiritual antibodies. This is why men today are so fragile. This is why a single mean comment online or a minor setback in life can cause a total mental breakdown. We have been raised in a simulation of safety, and we have forgotten how to be strong. The world wants to replace your real identity as a child of God, as an Orthodox Christian, as a brother. You're now a plastic identity. You're defined by what you buy, what you like, and how well you follow the rules of the humanitarian machine. You're being turned into a ghost so that you're easier to manage. A man who has a suffering heart, a man who knows the truth is dangerous to the system. He can't be bought with likes and he can't be controlled with convenience. But a ghost man, a man who is adjusted to death, he will do whatever he's told as long as the Wi Fi stays on and the food keeps showing up at his door. So, what did Eugene Rose do? Did he sit in his room and complain? No. He took the monastic exit. He left San Francisco. He left the plastic world. He went to the mountains of Northern California to a place called Platina. He and another brother built a monastery with their own hands. No electricity, no running water, just the goods, the icons of Christ, the Mother of God and the saints, and the truth. Father Seraphim Rose went to the mountains to fight the spiritual warfare. The only way to beat the simulation was to reclaim reality. He wanted to live a life that had weight. He wanted to feel the cold, the hunger, the hard work, and the deep silent presence of God that the city had tried to drown out. He realized that the ancient cure for modern loneliness isn't a theory, it's a practice. It's the monastic exit from the lies of the world and the monastic entrance into the reality of the heart. He wrote that we must be dead to the world so that we can finally be alive to God. Dead to the world? To the modern man, that sounds terrifying. You mean I have to stop caring about my status? My comfort? My adjusted life? Yes, that's exactly what death to the world means. You have to let the ghost die so the man can be born. You have to stop being well adjusted to a world that is insane. We are living in 2026. The golden cage that Eugene Rose saw in 1962 is now fully built. The humanitarian machine is running at full speed. And we're at the step of a next world war. You feel the pressure every day. You feel the pressure to fit in, to be happy, to consume, and to adjust. What I'm telling you today, do not adjust. Go against the current by following the path of Orthodox Christianity. Your loneliness is your compass. Your sense of being a ghost is the only thing that's still telling you the truth. It's your soul's way of saying, this is not your home. This is a simulation. Your eternal home is heaven. Wake up. Father Seraphim Rose invited us to be against the current. He invites you to stop being a hothouse plant and to start becoming a man who can survive the winter. There are three ways to do that. You start by seeking the truth no matter how much it hurts. You start by building a tribe of reality, real brothers, real community, real friction. You start by entering the ancient cure of the Orthodox Church, not as a hobby, but as a matter of life and death. Why? Because we're all sick, and the only cure, the only solution is the true apostolic church founded by the Christ and his apostles. This is the kingdom of God, which wants you to be alive and struggling, while on the other hand, the kingdom of man wants you comfortable and dead. Father Seraphim's final words to us are more urgent than they were in 1962. It is later than you think. Hasten, therefore, to do the work of God. Turn the key, walk out, go against the current.